Hello here, Terrence Popp from the Lair. And I'm going to do a request. I've got like 2 or 3 requests for this. They worded it all differently, but the guys are basically interested in, you know, if I ever seen any ghosts or supernatural shit. I would have to say yes and no. Okay, and then when we're all done with the stories, I think I have 5 or 6 of them here, maybe more. You're gonna have to judge for yourself. And now I'm gonna jump through, you know, my entire military career for all of the ghost stories because there really isn't that many, and it's gonna take maybe 2 or 3 videos to get through them all. All right, so my first experience with crazy, fucked up ghost shit was in basic training. We were doing basic rifle marksmanship, and we were road marching to our range when, you know, we ran out of daylight, and we basically went off to the side of the road. They put us off near the wood line, but not near the road, basically big field. And it was kind of served as a parking lot because there was a little bit of gravel that had, you know, kind of dissipated over time. And they brought out the mermites, we ate chow, and then basically after that they just say, you know, just rack out. And of course, you know, you can't just have everyone asleep. You have 1 or 2 people are awake for either a half hour or an hour increments from sundown to sunup, just to make sure nobody fucks with your shit. So, you know, we laid down to go to bed. It was roughly 8 o'clock. They woke me up at like 10:30, 10:45-ish. The guy fucked me, woke me up early because I was supposed to go from 11 to midnight. So, you know, he fucking wakes me up. I stand up, I get my weapon, fucking put on my helmet, and I'm looking over. He's getting ready to go to sleep, and he's putting in earplugs. That was kind of strange because it didn't really dawn on me. I didn't ask him why, you know, he's putting on earplugs because there's really nothing out there. It's not loud. There's no traffic. I mean, it's pretty much nothing. So, you know, about 20 minutes into it, everyone else is asleep, and I'm walking around the perimeter, and then I hear like it's this murmuring. It sounds like, you know, like if you're in one room and you can hear somebody talking to another room, and you really can't hear what they're saying, but you know it's verbal speech of some type. And I'm looking around and I'm like, where the fuck is that coming from? And it took a few minutes and it dawned into me that it's not coming from anywhere, you know, where the guys in my platoon are sleeping. It's coming from off the wood line into the darkness where I can't fucking see what the hell's going on. So I'm getting spun up, man, because this is fucked up. I mean, I grew up in a haunted house. That's a whole other issue. We'll get to that one down the road. But, you know, it kind of wigged me out. So I'm standing there at the edge, looking into the darkness, just going, oh, I was thinking maybe it was another platoon. You know, it was, you know, low crawling up through the brush to fuck with us or run off with one of our weapons or guide on or something. Because we were playing those silly games back then. And then, you know, I'd hear the clinking of metal, and I'm like, it didn't sound like an E-tool or any of the standard, you know, metal sounds soldiers make in the brush when they're fucking around with their shit, like hitting in tent pegs or whatever the fuck they're doing. So that didn't seem right. And then about 10 or 20 minutes towards the end of my shift, I heard a horse. All right, it wasn't like it didn't whinny or anything. You know how they do that? They blow the air by their lips or whatever out their nose. It was a fucking horse, okay? There is no fucking way on Fort Benning, Georgia, 100 meters in the perimeter where I'm looking around where my platoon is fucking racked out, should there be a fucking horse. No fucking way. So I rode it out till midnight, 5 to midnight. I wasn't gonna dick the other guy, and I kicked him, woke him up. And then I watched him get up, and I fucking pulled out my earplugs, and I said, good luck to you, and I went to fucking sleep. And the next morning, you know, we get up, we pack up our shit, you know, we had to walk maybe like 4 miles down to the range. And we're walking down, we come around this bend, and there is a Civil War cemetery, and it was roughly 70 meters from where we were racked out on the, you know, on the wood line. And that was fucking creepy as fuck. And I wasn't the only one that heard it. The guy before me heard it, the guy after me, and one guy, I think it was like somewhere between 2 and the guy had a 2 to 3 in the morning, got it real bad. He was fucked in the head. But yeah, there's some crazy shit goes on out there. I really seriously doubt it was any human being fucking with us. I don't know, it was echoes from the past. I don't fucking know. All I know, it was fucked up. Second experience I had, you know, I was towards the end of my enlistment, so I was ETSing, and what they do is usually 45 days out from your ETS date, you turn in all your shit, you don't go to the field, and your job is just to clear post. Okay, but they all went on deployment. All right, I think they went down somewhere in South America, I don't remember the details. But the supply guy gave me the key ring, told me when I, you know, to fucking sign me out. He already pre-filled all my paperwork. I turned in all my shit. You know, all I really need to do is turn in, you know, my bed linen, and it's all small potato bullshit. He didn't give a fuck about it. You know, I still, you know, left it, you know, tied to his, you know, doorknob of his you know, room, but because I don't fuck people like that. But basically, for about 25 days, I lived in the entire Bravo Company 2nd Ranger Battalion barracks by my fucking self. Now, during the day, you know, usually there's a lot of people in there. It's very, you know, friendly environment once you get past people fucking with you. And but when you're there by yourself, it fucking takes on a very, very creepy vibe. And I'd known this because, you know, I'd sensed some shit in the past, but apparently there was quite a few suicides in those barracks, you know, mid to late 70s and into the 80s. Every so often a guy would shoot himself, hang himself, overdose. Even in the elite units, people still fucking break, okay? It happens. Now, you know, I had some friends of mine who, I had the combinations to the rooms so I could go watch their TVs, listen to stereos or whatever, or just go hang out, because I didn't have any of that shit. In fact, I basically lived out of bags and boxes. I still do that to this day, and I need to break that habit because it's kind of unhealthy when you're almost 50. So, one day, you know, I go to the chow hall over on McCord. It was the Air Force chow hall because our chow hall was closed. And that was one of the better ones because the Air Force ran it. It was literally like a fucking Denny's. It was great. And then I hear coming from somebody's room, I hear the TV on. TV shouldn't fucking be on. There's nobody in the fucking building. Now I don't have access to this room, so I can't confirm if it was or was not on some kind of timer, which I highly fucking doubt. It turned off again maybe 2 hours later. You know, I hear like running down the hallway. You know. I hear banging on doors. This is really creepy. In one of the community bathrooms upstairs on the 2nd floor, 2 sinks, the water turned on full blast between midnight and 2 in the morning. It's like, shh. And from where I was, because I was staying downstairs in one of my friend's room, you know, I had the stereo on low, so I really, you know, I didn't want to hear any of that craziness going on out there in undead fucking Ranger land. But, you know, I heard it. I remember I came out, I walked up there, and I don't care who you are. When you're facing shit like that, everyone has like the same SOP. First thing you do, you open the door, you're like, hello, hey, what's up? No answer. And you hear the noise, you can't just fucking let it be. You gotta go fucking investigate what the fuck's going on. So then you walk down there, and you're like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, fuck this. I went back and got my Smith & Wesson Model 19 357 Magnum. If I want to fucking go at it with fucking Joe shit to Ragman Ghost Boy, it's fucking game on. I'm not going down with a fucking fight. I know it's an absolutely useless weapon against a ghost, but it makes you feel better, so I took it with me. So I walk up there, and sure as shit, the fucking sinks are on. I turn them off. And that's the only time that happened, but I mean, I grew up in a haunted house, so I'm like, hey, whenever shit like that happens, I know there's a lot of people out there who don't believe in this shit. I got it. That's fine. But whenever something like that fucks with you, you know, you just say forcefully, hey, quit fucking with me. All right, I know you're fucking here. It's all good. I'm going back to bed. Good night. All right. And usually, you know, if it's not malevolent, they quit fucking with you for the most part. I personally think these are guys, you know, former airborne, or they'll always be airborne rangers because they died as airborne rangers. And in fact, if you serve in the Ranger Battalion and leave honorably for the rest of your fucking meat suit existence, you're an airborne fucking ranger in my book. I guess they were just fucking with me. I don't know. I mean, there were some other strange things that went on, but I wasn't really company to them. I didn't see them happen. I didn't witness it, but I talked to people that experienced similar things that went on around their area. But with all the people moving around, especially when the barracks are full, it's easy to turn the other way and go, hey, fuck that. It didn't fucking happen. Another one happened when this happened in Ranger School. Okay, you can find my picture. I graduated from Ranger School on basically 9/11/1990. You know, if you go all the way to the end, towards the bottom, I think I'm 2 or 3 rows up, 2 or 3 people in. I am the escaped concentration victim guy there with the big fucking nose. So this is a Ranger school. We're in Florida phase, and you know, I droned out. It happens. I broke contact with platoon. I took a knee, and I was by this bush, and I swear to God, it was another fucking Ranger. And then I kind of zoned out, and then I reached out, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, oh fuck, I was left behind. All right, I didn't know how long I'd been there. I checked my watch. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. Okay, so when you're walking through the swamp in a platoon-size element, you move a lot faster than you do if you're by yourself. So I knew there was no fucking way I would be able to catch them and catch up to them. I just wouldn't be able to do it. It is what it is. So I pulled up my compass, and I dialed in my escape azimuth, and I start walking out. And it was fucking miserable walk. It's swamp. You got the weighted minute vines with the 2-inch fucking thorns. I was all fucked up. I hear them do their mission, you know, and then I just kept doing my deal. And apparently they came out of the swamp maybe 10 minutes before me. I mean, that's how slow I was going. But I didn't know where they came out at. And the way it works at England Air Force Base in the swamp is when you come to the end of the swamp, you go up a berm, and then you're fucking out of the swamp, okay? And right along the berm is white sand, and there was maybe a 3/4 moon, so you can see the white sand glowing in the dark. And there was 3 men standing up there, and I didn't recognize them, and I knew I was fucked. I was going to get a major minus. I already had a bazillion of them anyway, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. So I'm like, hey, you see the Rangers come up here? And the guy's like, you know, he answered me and everything. He's like, just right up that trail. So it really went up about 50 meters into the wood line. So I literally walked right up there. They challenged me in because I walked right up on the M60 position. And I gave them the challenge and password. And they're like, oh, fuck, Popp. We almost told the RIs you're not here. Oh, God. Because they knew everyone would get a major minus if they lost a guy. But they didn't lose a guy because I showed up before they fucking did the head count. So I'm standing there, and the gunner go, Popp, how the fuck did you find us, man? And I'm like, well, I came out of the swamp, and those guys down there told me where you're at. Well, these guys were on the gun, and they were looking down that trail, and they said, Popp, we saw you come out of the swamp, bro. There was no 3 men there. So I'm like, I'm hallucinating. I had no sleep, no food. I mean, all kinds of crazy shit could happen. So I totally put it out of my mind. Just totally put it out of my mind. It wasn't even a big deal. Until I was in Special Forces selection, and one night in the barracks, we're all bullshitting, and some guy had the exact same fucking story. Almost to the T. 3 guys, showed him where he needed to go. What are the fucking odds of that happening? I don't know. But apparently during Vietnam, they used England Air Force Base for a lot of training for guys going to Vietnam. A lot of guys, they died. Crash helicopters, shit happens. When you have people running around in the dark, shooting guns or fucking with dangerous shit, people fucking die. Those are the ghost stories, 1st edition. Alright, you guys, hopefully this doesn't fuck with you too bad. It's not Halloween. I was planning on doing some of these during Halloween, last Halloween actually, but I forgot. So now you're getting them as a bonus. Talk to you.